All right. I think we're back up. Sorry, everybody. I think I have identified the issue though, which is a little disappointing as to what the issue actually is. And probably you all are unlisted still, so give me just a second. Public. GG funds. Okay. Okay. I think we should be back.
Alrighty, give me a moment. There we go. All right, let's try this again.
Take two. Let me actually go ahead and copy the stream ID. Give me just a second. Probably
No worries,
smart.
no worries. Hello again.
Dead stream, yeah, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I think we're back. Manage.
Yeah, technical issues.
Yeah, I think I've identified the source of the problem now. So we should be okay now. So hopefully it doesn't happen again.
We'll see.
Damn it. Hold on. Why aren't you listed as... There you go. I was going to say, why aren't you listing as public? Sweet.
And yes, it is me.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that, chat, but I think I've identified the issue. I think I've got a dead Ethernet port. Because as soon as I switched over to Wi-Fi, everything seems to be working. So sorry about that. All right. Anyway, yeah, we're in a weird spot right now. Kind of picking up where we left off with what was going on in the stream that died. We're in a weird spot right now, and I kind of want to talk about everything kind of like holistically, because there's a lot of... I think we're kind of like hyper focused on the layoffs and such, which is of course, you know, the most critical point of news right now. But there's, I think, more going on here. That we kind of have seen the signs coming and now kind of taking a step back. This sort of makes sense. And I also want to try to be unbiased in this, right? I want to try to be like able to see both sides of it, as it were. But I want to approach this from a lot of different perspectives and kind of, you know, see where everyone else is thinking, because it's easy to get lost in, you know, like what the big names in Twitter or whatever are saying. But I'm curious as to what like the person to person overall zeitgeist is right now, right? So let's kind of like just get going here. I don't know if you guys want me to play anything in the background while we're chatting. I could just focus on just talking to you guys. I could do some stuff in the background. I've got Crit here. You guys have already heard him, and we want to chat about some stuff as well. So just let me know. One thing to consider is that there's a lot we don't know and probably will never know when it comes to this. That's absolutely true. However, we can still see what we can see, I think, gives us quite a bit of information, right? Yeah, it's so is the question that I wanted to kind of bring up is that, is Destiny dying? Oh, I got one super chat here. My heart goes out to the devs who worked on the game, but after learning more about this from Tassie an hour ago, Bungie confirming it with silence, Destiny's end is well deserved. Yeah, so in case you guys aren't caught up, it's not confirmed yet, but obviously it's coming from a relatively reliable source, so it's relatively worth believing. We got something from Paul Tassi basically saying that everything that happened, all the layoffs, did not come from Sony. It, in fact, came from Bungie. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up the tweet, and I'll just read it out verbatim here. Go sit somewhere safe in the Nessus and just admire the view and reminisce. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Let's do that real quick.
Just vibing.
Yeah, let's just find a spot to vibe. Nessus is not a bad suggestion either. No one ever goes to Nessus anymore.
The only reason to go to Nessus is for freaking the Xur. That's it.
Yeah, right. Why does this happen to everything I like within 2 years? You need to stop liking things, because Destiny's been going strong for about 9. Fishing,
Yeah, come on.
Fishing would be definitely not a bad thing to just waste time with. Play some of Michael Salvatore's best tracks. I feel like I think we might get copyright struck because Bungie's kind of strict about it. I've got my HUD off too, so this is good. I'll just kind of pop a squat right here.
Yes. The good old debris.
Yep. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up the thing I saw from Paul Tassi today. Again, not confirmed per se, but a pretty reliable source. Let's see here.
I still want to find out who the hell is giving all these CEOs and corporate jackasses the stupid juice.
Yeah, right. Like it seems that being a AAA developer is like playing Russian roulette. Like mathematically speaking, at some point you're gonna bite the bullet, right?
Yeah.
Because like even if it's going strong for like a few years, it's almost like an inevitability that something's gonna crash and burn. It's pretty rare that a company just like goes, all right, we're done making stuff, or you know, it just always seems to explode so dramatically. All right, from Paul Tassi, new info about the Bungie layoffs per a source. The layoff decisions came directly from Bungie management, not Sony. This is not about Sony replacing Bungie employees with their own employees. Next point, many employees' benefits, though not health care or health insurance, only last until the end of the month if you're let go. Laying people off on the 30th means they get a single day of coverage. Many employees had unvested shares as a result of the Sony purchase. These shares would be received based on staying with the company for a certain number of years following the sale, but those shares revert to Bungie if you leave, even if you're fired, which is what's happening to many of those who are affected. So that's the thing that kind of like changed the whole course of the discussion, because it went from like my opinion coming into this before reading that today is that, okay, this is likely Sony putting some pressure on Bungie to, you know, kind of shake some stuff up, to do something different, and they've got some reason for this.
Incoming fallen craft.
I need to shut up. Hold on. Let me shut up. Failsafe here. Dialogue, cinematics. There we go. Anyway, so the thought process was, okay, maybe these are some things that Bungie's been kind of like eyeing up to do for a while, and I guarantee you that this is something that they have been thinking about for a while. But the fact that it came from Bungie and without really any notice, this is just sort of all of a sudden, and Crit pointed out that there wasn't even like a 2-week notice, makes me think that this is more... There's more going on here than we initially had thought. Are we really getting shot at right now by aliens from way the hell down there?
Yep. Hold on, excuse me. I'll go.
You go take care of that for us, thank you. Just go to orbit. Nah, we'll chill here for a bit. We'll watch the ambiance and such. I reached out. Okay, let me see this. I'm curious to see this. What's going on here? I reached out to some of the Bungie devs fired and still there on Twitter to check in. The most honest conclusion I've gotten is that this was a result of a lot of issues growing over the years. Yeah, so that's the second side of things. Now that we're seeing the bookend of this, I think that the writing has been on the wall for a while, right? I feel like this is something that we should have seen coming, but nobody was expecting. Like, this is something that we kind of like had in the back of our minds as always a possibility, but we never thought it would actually happen. Man, can we not get shot at for like 2 seconds? We can't even like exist on a planet without getting shot at. I'm gonna back up to the other side of things here. Go right here. This will be a little safer. Bungie has been plagued with poor management for decades, long seen yet never known. I would love to see your source on that, because the thing right now is there's a lot of he said, she said, right? Sony didn't want Bungie as game makers. They wanted them as live service consultants. Remember that. That's a good point. That's actually a really good point, because Bungie was acquired by Sony for a very particular reason, as because Bungie was very good at what they did, which is Destiny. Talking about Destiny, is Destiny dying? No, but it's on its way out, I think. I think that we're in a place now, and like I said, the writing's been on the wall for a while, and we've been hoping that it would just go away if we just kept pushing forward. But I mean, just like I think the start of it came post Lightfall, is where we really started to see it sort of come to a head, where we started to see the cinematic climax to this start to occur, right? Like if you want to put like a specific date on it, I would be willing to put the monetization video that Cross put out, kind of like bringing it more to the community's attention. And everybody kind of already knew it, everyone kind of already felt it, but he like put it into words that was a lot more tangible and such. And I think the community sentiment up to that point had been pretty darn negative. I mean, myself included. I mean, we've been through ups and downs, right? And like, this is not a new experience for Destiny players to be like, man, Destiny sucks, right? But like, it was a different texture. Like, it was a different feeling. It wasn't just the traditional, like, I really wish they would balance this thing or give us more reason to play this or whatever it may be. It was more fundamental. It felt more like a foundational issue that had been going on that we're starting to kind of see. It's sort of like if you're living on a house with broken floorboards and you kind of always heard that they were creaking a little bit, and you're like, I'm used to the house maybe, not working quite right. Maybe we had some plumbing issues or whatever, but this is different. I think we got termites. You know what I mean? I've essentially stopped playing Destiny between the nerfs to a lot of my favorite gear and then the political BS that they have added to the game. I'm having a hard time justifying buying the next DLC. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. I mentioned this in Twitter, talking about buying the next stuff or refunding stuff. Vote with our wallets, right? Like, that's the thing that we always say. And I am on the side that the wallets have already voted, but this is an interesting development in this game of chess between consumer and producer, right? The consumer and the companies, right? Because this is the first time it seems like the wallets voted and then something happened. I don't know if that's the case, and I think we're probably giving ourselves far too much credit for that. Because Bungie is extremely profitable, and Destiny's not going anywhere, just if nothing else because Bungie can, it's an extremely profitable spot for. It'd be stupid for Bungie to get rid of Destiny, right? So of course they're going to keep it around. But now that we're seeing the layoffs inside of things, the thing I brought up is like, did we want that? Did we want people to lose their jobs? Sadly, voting with wallets won't give people their jobs back. Yeah, exactly, right? Like we've got a. If we do have a voting with our wallet, like if the consumer really does have that amount of power, which I'm hesitant on saying, because I feel like there's enough infrastructure and enough things here that Bungie isn't going to be shaken by a handful of decisions by a handful of people to not buy a DLC, right? But if that really is the case, is this the direction that we wanted to go? And more than that, is it actually going to change anything? Or is it just going to be a situation where the possible real root problem, whatever that might be, will still stay protected? Because, like, if there is a corruption, which there very well might be, as obviously we're seeing this kind of coming on the other side of things with the layoffs and such, is that still going to maintain when everything else falls away? I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting my point across. Crit, do you understand kind of what I'm saying?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. In this, we lost the people that Bungie needed most. Yeah, and so knowing a bit more about the business side of things, it's possible, like Michael Salvatore, I think is how you pronounce his name. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. It's possible that they might just be doing him more on contract work rather than having him on as a mainstay. And that's like a very hopeful way of looking at it. Like, instead of it being like you're going to be here no matter what, it's going to be like hey, we need Michael. Right, and they'll hire him on for, like a short period of time for a particular expansion or a particular thing that they're working on, and then he can go about doing his other things. I don't know the financial situation of these people, but I'm willing to bet that the more fundamental people like Michael are probably pretty well established, and they probably have been well taken care of, because obviously Bungie wants to keep them around, From Mitch, hey TDT, I said earlier about checking in with the devs to get an idea of what's going on. I'll send you a DM on Discord if I can of a summary of what was discussed, keeping the staff anonymous. Yeah, I don't want to like drag any names through the mud or anything like that, right? Outside of anything that's already like well established public knowledge. the Bungie you're all in love with has been gone and dead for half a decade, maybe even a full decade at this point, with only a small remnants left behind of the corporate structure. Like, but that's the thing, like, even if that is true, there's nothing. Yeah, let me go ahead and get rid of the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, don't want to get kicked out.
Orbit, yeah. Even if that is true, there's no reason why we can't get more people on that we also equally love, right? Like when DMG left, right? Or you know, the community managers left. Like, there's no reason we couldn't get new people, and like people are gonna move on, right? So like I understand that thought process, and for sure, I mean that's definitely what's going on right now with me and not Apex, Respawn, right? Like, Respawn has probably completely changed hands from the people who made Titanfall 2, and I kind of have to, like, just accept that at this point, right?
Lame.
But, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that it makes me happy, but it does mean that there's opportunities for new people. Anyway, let me see here. Spend all that money to keep people around, then to kick them to the curb. I don't know about that. Like, things like, here's the thing. Bungie knows that this is bad press, right? They're not stupid, right? They know that as soon as news of this got out, and it's not like there was like a whistleblower situation and somebody caught this at random and now it's like everyone suddenly knows about it and Bungie's caught off guard. No, Bungie knew this was going to happen. I mean, shoot, the CEO made a half-assed statement about the whole thing, right? I don't think they would have done this unless they had really thought it through, whether that be for good intentions or bad intentions, right? This is bad press, and even if all publicity is good publicity, as they say, this is one of those things that might be good for the short term, but not good for the long term, and everybody knows this. Like, anybody with a brain can figure that out. But that doesn't take a lot of deep wisdom and understanding to feel that out. You know what I mean? And it's coming off of the back of really bad overall community sentiment, right? Like with everything going on with monetization and the questionable quality of the campaign and all this other stuff. Let me see what TK had to say here. Destiny and other live services at the post-Warlords of... Wow, okay. Of the genre World of Warcraft and other MMORPGs in 2010. We are looking for a Destiny killer where there isn't one. GAAS isn't available long term. I don't know what you mean by GAAS. House quits.
The one... Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Somebody asked how Crit's role in the live-action Sweeperbot film is going.
That's going pretty good. But no, what I was gonna say was like, what this reminds me of. It's not exactly like the same sort of thing, but it's a similar thing to. It feels similar to how BioWare handled certain things back in the day with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and how a lot of the really big staff just left or were removed from the project, and just everything went downhill, and I feel like it's going to do the same thing here.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, as much as we get on Destiny's case, and we would love to see a Destiny killer, right? Like, we still want there to be Destiny until the killer comes along. You know what I mean? Games as a service. Yeah, I gotcha. Sorry, I should have called that out. Games as a service. That makes sense. Yeah, like, games as a service is such a... It's volatile, right? And it's lucrative, but also, like, dangerous at the same time for the people who are making it, right? Because it requires you to have active and a devoted player base day after day, hour after hour, right? And a game as big as Destiny. Like, Destiny's a huge freaking game, guys. It's a huge game. It takes a lot of manpower to get this thing to run. A lot of creative work to get everything together, and even more managerial work to keep it together. Destiny will always be the Destiny killer. Yeah, for sure. Did you see what Paul added to the original post? I did not. Let me take a look. I'm talking the post that we talked about initially. Let me see, because I retweeted it. I can pull it up pretty easily. Additional, this may be part of a wider cost-cutting at Sony in multiple areas, but as an independent entity who gets cut, the timing and terms as above are Bungie's decision. To clarify an earlier point, health insurance lasts until the severance ends. Benefits ends today. Okay, so in other words, there was pressure, and to summarize what that said here, there is pressure from Sony to cut costs and such, but Bungie ultimately pulled the trigger. Basically, Sony handed them the gun and said, you need to pull the trigger. When you and how you and how many times you do is up to you, but you need to pull the trigger, right? And it was Bungie that
something's gotta go.
Yeah, and it was Bungie that decided to do what they did. And news like this, here's the thing: news like this shouldn't be doom and gloom, right? It shouldn't be like, crap, is Destiny dying? Because things happen, right? There's going to be times where it gets a little bit rocky and so on and so forth. There's going to be times where big companies need to make cuts and they need to make difficult decisions and so on and so forth, right? But it's the scope of everything that has happened up to this point is the real thing, right? That's the real difficult thing to try to put into a positive spin. Somebody earlier in chat was saying, be positive, you're just looking for clicks. I'm not looking for clicks. I'm worried about my job. Let me be perfectly clear. Let me be 100% transparent with y'all. Content creators have a symbiotic relationship with any game that they're playing, right? And being that we're a one game channel, it's freaking scary hearing that your main source of revenue, the way that you feed yourself and such, is basically getting shot in the leg, you know? So I have a much deeper investment in this than any normal player would, right? Any content creator that uses Destiny as their main game for their channel has way more invested into this game than any player would, right? Just by definition. So it's freaking scary. And I obviously want to put everything in a positive light. I would like this to be. And one of the things I think TK also pointed out in a response to Twitter post that I had made is that we've seen things like difficulties and lows like this happen in the past with Curse of Osiris, and then we got Forsaken, right? So it's possible that this could just be some hunger right now, right? We could see a revitalized and more aggressively good. I want to find a stronger verbiage for that, but a more quality Destiny experience coming on the other side of this, and I really hope that that's the case. I really do. Bungie's management has been poor since Halo days. Halo 2's multiplayer was the side project designed by 2 developers over a weekend. Yeah, but I don't think humans have the tendency to latch onto things that are negative. That's just how we operate, right? So we're more programmed to see the negative stuff, and we forget all the positive stuff or the stuff that kept everything rolling. You know what I mean? So it's possible, sure, that the management's been a problem for a while, but it's been working, right? Destiny overall is a pretty darn good game. It's the best game? No. But, it's a pretty darn good game overall. I mean, we've been here for 9 years. Many of you have probably been here for that amount of time. Maybe not quite as long, but you've been here for a while, right? So there's been lots of good decisions that have been made that we maybe won't notice, So.
Or we've forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of things. Negative things affect survival perceived. Yeah, for sure. That only happened when Destiny was almost dead, literally. Yeah, I mean, but that's the possible positive spin we could put on this, right? Is that the last time we saw something this negative hit us, it followed shortly behind one of the most positive things we've seen in quite a while, right? So that I'm just trying to lighten the mood as a possible silver lining to this. I'm just looking for anything at this point, as I'm sure many players are. And I'm just saying that that's very real a possibility. Destiny is a great ass meal and the worst dessert I've ever ate. That's an interesting way to put it. I think the whole Salvatore thing is definitely a red flag. Guy's been there for 26 years, and they just say see you later. I mean, here's what I want to think, because unless somebody has actually spoken to him, which I'm going to be very doubtful if anybody claims that. Here's what my perhaps overly positive thought process is that Michael had been kind of weighing up, because I mean, look at the guys, he's on the older side, right? Weighing up the option of like maybe retiring. Maybe Bungie or Destiny was a lot more stressful than maybe he really wants anymore, and he's been kind of talking about maybe retiring for a while, and this was kind of like an opportunity to do that. That's probably delusional, but like I want to hope that that's the case, you know. If that's and I don't, it's likely that that's not the case, and you know, then that's why we're here now, which really sucks, right? But feel bad for all the behind-the-scene workers at Bungie, the designers, the art team, the music team. All those people do some serious work, and it's overshadowed by things like this. Yeah, for sure, right? Like, there's, like, at the end of the day, Destiny is a good product, right? And we forget that what we have here is overall pretty good, right? But it still gets crapped on. And, like, it's not like, well, not everybody, because there are some people who are just shitty just for the sake of being shitty. It's not like the vast majority of us are upset with the game because we hate the game when we want to see it fail. I think the vast majority of people want to see it live up to its full potential. The problem is that there's just so many voices. There's so many cooks in the kitchen as to what that actually looks like. So it's hard to really nail that down. And everyone, like, there's never going to be a time where everybody's happy with Destiny. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. There's never been a game where everybody's happy with it. That's just not how anything works. Arts, even science, for that matter. But the only way I can see this spin well is if Sony lends another studio to help for the 7-month season to be a banger, or to split to 2 seasons. Yeah, like that would be great for the players, right? If we got like some kind of fill-in, you know, like Sony stepped in, like, okay, let's get you guys like a little mini season in between. I doubt that that's what's going to happen, but
was that not what Episodes was trying to be or going to be?
Well, yeah, but now we're getting a longer extension, right? Because we're basically going back to the Season of the Lost, which is that really long and really terrible 6 months or whatever season that everyone was sort of looking up and down on Destiny, going, "Hey, you good? You're not looking too well," you know. Salvatore spoke out after the fact along the lines of, "Don't hate on Bungie. The people who are left can turn this ship around. I respect that, but I doubt that." I think it's easier for us to cast judgment from the outside too, right? It's easier it's easier for us to look on the things that we see that are not working, because like any sort of emergency or whatever that doesn't end up happening, we never see. Right? And who knows how many times there's been a difficult decision, but Bungie's been able to pull it out, or maybe somebody took a pay cut somewhere. Is that what happened all the time? Yeah, probably not. But I think it's really easy for us to latch onto the things that we do see and forget that there's probably a hell of a lot more that we don't see.
Yeah, that's absolutely a really good point, because there could be a lot of stuff that we're not taking into perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. If they're delaying it to give the project more time, it doesn't make sense to pull them away from that goal to build more things from scratch just to keep everyone busy. Yeah, I agree. And like, people have pointed out, Shadow. I jumped on a call with Shadow Destiny yesterday, talking about just everything, right? Because obviously it's some pretty big news, and you know, he pointed out that the vast majority outside of Beyond Light, or no, not Beyond Light, sorry, Lightfall, had been delayed, right? And like, delays aren't necessarily new for us, but this is the first time we've gotten something that had this weight behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like we went from, okay, we're delaying the game, and, you know, that's okay. Plenty of things have been delayed, and, like, freaking Witch Queen was fantastic, right? Witch Queen's campaign was arguably some of the best, if not the best, that we've seen in years. It was great, and it was also delayed, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing that it was delayed, but coming off the back of everything that has happened, it gives everyone, I think, some pause. Because it's not just, if it was just delays and layoffs, it'd be like, okay, Bungie's struggling a little bit. But it's delays, layoffs, monetization things that are a little bit scummy, a under-delivery of Beyond Light, you know, like all of those things kind of compiling all at once, and everyone's now a little bit more nervous than we have been in the past. You know what I mean? Technically, the final shape was delayed before now, hence Lightfall, as opposed to filler expansion, I suppose. We felt sorry for the employees, but we can not know. But we cannot know for sure this will be bad for the game. But we will see the impact. Yeah, like again, like I want to remain hopeful. I want to remain hopeful that what we're seeing here is like just a temporary, a little bump in the road, right? And that we'll get to the other side of this and be like, you know what? Yeah, it kind of sucked and it was a little bit scary, but like Destiny's in a much better spot now. They got some real good talent in there, and they made some great, difficult decisions that ultimately helped out. You know, everyone enjoyed this game a little bit more. If the graph wasn't trending so aggressively down like a plane that's lost its engines, you know, I would be more on that ship. Right? I'd be more on that boat. But now I'm looking at it going, well, shit, am I going to have to pivot to a Call of Duty channel or a friggin' Apex channel or, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, this is different. This one's different.
Was it somebody asked a question about what are we going to do if this is a sinking ship? I haven't actually been playing much Destiny personally. Like, I've been doing like the bare minimum.
Same.
Just to finish the season. But after that, I've been busy with like other stuff just outside. Like, I've been applying for like a bunch of other voice acting gigs, and yeah, I've been busy with that. Like, there's been so many things I've been applying for.
Yeah, Crit's been busy. And talking about the season, look, chat, I haven't even finished this season. Like, I'm a good 25 or so away from finishing this season. I hardly touch this game. Like, I touch it for content because I want to make sure you guys get the best stuff that we can put out. But I don't regularly play this game, you know. But yeah, Crit's been going nuts with the voice acting stuff, and he's been doing it
with audition stuff.
Yeah.
Was it? And it's just funny how fast things have been going in that direction. Because was it one of the projects that I'm in? There was a recent series that just came out. The Amazing Digital Circus came out like 2 weeks ago. Already has like 50 million views. The guy who voices Kane, I'm in a project with, so I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is pretty big. So I'm like, the fact that I'm like trying to get into more stuff like that, and a lot of projects have popped up just within like the last week. I've been busy with that.
Yeah.
Like, was it like hell? I showed me some one of the projects, which is like a fighting game based off of the Helltaker series. And yeah, I'm auditioning for the announcer champion select guy. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, like Crit has like actual real life stuff going on. For my side of things, you're somebody who's actually supposed to be playing this game as part of their job. I haven't been touching it. For me, I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty. I really, really enjoyed the beta. And if like the shooting felt good, the mechanics felt good, weapons felt balanced. It obviously was Call of Duty, so it all felt pretty similar, right? But like it felt better than the Call of Duties I've ever experienced in the past. So it's like that's like concerning for me, if I'm honest with myself, right? The fact that I'm honestly more interested in like the most basic bitch ass of shooters. Yeah, COD on 2023. Yeah, exactly. The fact that I'm more interested in the most basic of shooters than I am Destiny is concerning to me. Like, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Real quick, the Helltaker thing is it's a fan game, but it's called Hell Versus. There's only like 2 teasers out that I know of. And then in terms of stuff that I voice, well, on this channel, I'm Archibald and Reginald, so I mean those are the 2 notable voices from this channel.
Yeah. You guys, every time we do a stupid build, it's Crit reading off a script.
Yes, it's all been me.
He does a great job.
It's been me.
I don't even remember how we ended up meeting, but like it was.
I remember. I even remember the map too.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was one of the removed maps, but it was the like the Cabal ship.
Okay. I
don't remember what the map name was called, but it's the one where it's like
the donut.
Yeah, the donut-shaped one. And yeah, no, I was getting my ass handed to me. And I'm just like, God damn, this entire team's kicking my shit in. Wait a minute. I know that guy. That's that YouTuber I watch. Wait a
And
minute.
it was loved ever since. It was a good little happenstance. Hold on, I got a thing from TK here. Seed of the Lost had 30th anniversary to pad out the season. That's a good point. I forgot about that. I doubt season 23 has that helping it. The finals has been fun so far. You want to try it? I have not. I have not tried it. I don't know anything about it, so I can't say whether I do or I don't. Promising you should try. For the finals feels promising. You should try it. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Let me pull it up here. I'll Google it. The finals.
Oh, okay. That does look kind of interesting. I think I saw clips of that on Twitter.
Oh, I've seen clips of this on Twitter. I'd have to see more of it, but it doesn't look like anything that is going to be groundbreaking. It's so hard. It's so hard to come up with a new idea nowadays. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway. Does anyone here play Apex and know if the finally implemented cross progression after 3 years? Probably not the time or place. I don't play much Apex anymore. Let me go ahead and move around a little bit so I don't get kicked. I'm sad. Excuse me. It's a sad reality that D2 is dying, but it's good things got to come to an end. Okay. English sometimes is difficult for me, I swear. I would have been a millionaire if I got my money back from this game. You probably should not have spent that much money to begin with. Holy cow. You should go back and try playing old Destiny killers. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like we've seen so many people say like, oh, this is the Destiny killer. And we know that they're kind of being tongue-in-cheek in the past. But all of us kind of secretly deep down knew that it was probably Bungie that was going to be the Destiny killer, right? It's just a little sad to see it so ceremonious, right? To see it on such full display, like right center stage, right? I would rather this game go out in a quiet whisper than go out in this big bang of holy shit, you know?
Sorry, Meesum, we have to old yeller the thing.
Yeah, exactly, right? Permission to post a salvatory statement link TDT. Sad day for Bungie, and I'm hurt about the layoffs. Go ahead and hold off on that for now. You can talk about it in Discord and stuff, but not here on the stream. Just chat about it though. This is all a massive way of teasing Titanfall 3. Yeah, let's get the schizo pills going here. Let's get all hyped up on that again. Yeah, that was some shit. So back to Minecraft, guys. I love Minecraft, and I know my audience does not, but like. Anything that gives me any sort of tools to like game dev, even in a little bit, I'm all over. No, that's not likely going to be the case. And now what I have to start weighing up if Destiny does just die out, and like we're still here at least until the final shape, right? Like there's still going to be some things. It's just a matter of like how good is it going to be, right? Are we going from rolling around in a cruise ship to rolling around in a dinghy? Right, like that's the big question that we're wondering here, because Destiny is going to continue to stay up as long as it's profitable, and Destiny is profitable. It's just a matter of how good is it going to be for the rest of players. I can't wait for TDT Minecraft server. I can try to build a Monarch Titan in it. We had a TDT Minecraft server actually. I think they laid off employees because Bungie made a secret contract with you to financially support you to become a rogue-like streamer. I see. Thank you, Counterfeit, for telling everyone my secret. TDT could always transition. So like that's the thing I have to weigh out. It's like, do I just basically set this channel aside and start a new channel with the new audience, which would overall be cleaner on the algorithm side of things? Or do I just hard pivot? Which is very dangerous because, like, look at MTash as an example. MTash full pivoted to Genshin, right? And it popped off for him. Very rarely does that happen. Most of the time when somebody full pivots like that, the channel basically dies because people aren't clicking on the stuff. They're not as interested, right? They don't click on their videos, or the video, even if they do, let's say that they're interested in MTash's first Genshin video. They click on that, and then they get recommended Destiny stuff, right? This is something Shadow and I were talking about yesterday. They get recommended Destiny stuff. They're not interested in Destiny, so YouTube thinks, oh, that's a bad video. I won't recommend it to anybody. Nintendo CEO took a 50% pay cut during the Wii U. Listen, Nintendo does some shit, right? Like Nintendo has done some really messed up stuff in the past.
I mean, hell, they recently did something with like the Smash tournaments or something.
Yeah,
that
like
wasn't
there's
very
been a
well
handful of
received.
stuff, like sending what is effectively cease and desist to content creators because they're uploading games that have mods on it and stuff, right? But like Nintendo it's like a whole separate category of game developer. There's a reason Nintendo stands as a titan among everything else. There's a reason they can put out a console that's like 10 years behind date and have it be the best-selling console of that generation, right? Nintendo knows how to make some good games, and they know how to make some good decisions, right? And the CEO pay cut's honestly like a good example of what that can be like. They're pretty shady. But again, like every company is gonna have some level of difficulty associated with them, right? You know, like every company is gonna have something that's not quite perfect. I know it's crazy, but companies are made up of people, and people are sinners. Sinners are the people that make. We got a little bit of feedback there. Crit.
What?
I got a little
I'm sorry, I
bit
was
back on
laughing. I was laughing where it's like people are sinners.
Well, you know what I mean, right? It's like people are selfish. You know, not everyone's gonna be perfect all the time. You know, and perhaps transition to Fortress or maybe Edition would be a better idea. Yeah, maybe. Go ahead, Crit.
Yeah, that's the thing with me, where it's like a lot of like growing up, there's not really like role models that I looked up to, I guess, in terms of like voice acting stuff, or when I like met voice actors. There were some that were cool, and then there were some that just felt like they were just like, all right, yeah, whatever, sign the thing, and like pushed me along the assembly line. But yeah, like people suck sometimes. It's like, don't put somebody on a pedestal because they're not going to be perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna be
never
disappointed
are.
by them.
Like
Every single time.
like hell, I'm a fucking disappointment.
And I can say that firsthand. Crit is a
Don't look up
huge
to me.
disappointment.
Don't look up to me, man.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just like everyone's a person. There's good things about people. There's bad things about people. It's going. Yeah, just don't think like a company or a person is flawless. And then it's like, oh, they're doing all this great stuff for the community. Yeah, they might do something bad for the community, and it's just a matter of time for that to like come out.
Yeah, it's just a matter of if the good outweighs the bad, right? Like that's the big thing. And what we're seeing right now, and this is the scary part. Looking at the Destiny stuff, and I'll get to your super chat here. This is the concerning thing. Looking at this now is that it's like we're looking at what's happening right now in the Destiny community, within Bungie, within developers, and everything that's happening, and we're like, hey guys, the bad has been kind of like catching up for a while, and we've been hoping that you're gonna kind of like get a second wind and pull ahead, and like the good was gonna just, you know, it's gonna outsprint the bad, and you already had a pretty good distance, but the bad is catching up, and it's getting scary. You know, it's getting a little spooky that the gap is closing rapidly. Anyway, let me take a look here. I'm brokenhearted about the whole thing. The original Marathon trilogy are my favorite games, but after today, I wouldn't even be mad if the new game fails, because Bungie execs deserve to fail. Yeah, and like that's the real thing, right? It's like when the morale of the community is no longer with you. Oops, didn't do that. Probably for the best. When the morale of the community is no longer with you, that really sucks, because like people have lost faith in you. Right? And they've gone from an area of like generally just kind of getting along with you, maybe not quite liking you, but bearing with you, to they just don't care what happens to you anymore. You know? They just don't care. The apathy being the real killer thing, you know? Also, I mean, extraction shooters are a bad investment in this market. Yeah, that's a whole separate topic, though. You heard of this new game called Destiny 1? It looks really good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Destiny 1 server shut down in the wake of everything. I hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You've already given them ideas.
Yeah.
You've vocalized it.
Indifference is the final form of hatred, yeah. If Bungie can scrap together a Forge mode, they can turn this into an opportunity. But I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, like there's... I mean, we're always going to have things that we want. And obviously, like, I'd love to have a Forge mode. Like I talked about just a little while ago with Minecraft. Like, if you ever give me the tools for anything that's even remotely close to, like, game dev stuff in a game that I love or a series that I really love, I'm going to be all over it, right? But I don't think that's likely not. That's likely not what's going to happen here. Thing is, will Extraction Fighters still be growing in 2 years when Marathon releases? Good question. Good question. Yeah, it is kind of wondering. It's a good thought as to whether Marathon is like day late, dollar short for hitting the market. You know, because extraction shooters are really popular right now. Are they still going to be popular in 2 years? Who knows? I think that's even like that's thinking too far ahead though. You know, because like we're worried about like what's happening. Literally, we're worried about what's happening tomorrow. You know, are we going to hear that even more employees were laid off? Are we going to hear that there's a even longer delay? Are we going to hear that more features are going to get scrapped? Who knows, right? The thing that we haven't chatted about yet, something that Shadow brought up yesterday, is that this seems to be caught off, like everyone seems to be caught off guard by this, or this seems to be something that they hid really well. Because the way that all the reveals talked about it is like, when we are releasing this thing and so on and so forth is like more or less an assured thing. Like, this is going to happen, right? And then this is obviously catching us out, and a lot of people seem to be caught off guard by this. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't seem like something that a lot of people knew about or that they had made decisions on. So I don't know if this is something that just came out of the blue, right? Like, this is something that just like came out of left field and like, oh shit, we're gonna have to delay everything, or if this is something they knew about and they told nobody, you know? Am I dumb, or didn't they say that? Yeah. So that's the other thing. Is like we've been. There's been so many times Bungie has made a promise that they haven't followed through with, and that's one of them. They said that they wouldn't do any layoffs off of the PlayStation purchase with everything that happened with them, right? There's a statement that's been going around. It's been making a lot of cycles. I mean, it even made it through our meme Discord, right? And obviously that didn't happen, right? I think that's more a case of Bungie putting their foot in their mouth rather than Bungie going back on their word, because it's just like it's a really bold claim to make that, you know, everything's gonna be fine, which is basically what they said. Everything's gonna be fine, promise you, right? Because again, it's like it's not like Bungie is doing this intentionally to be a villain. Like no company in their right mind invites this amount of purely negative press. You know?
Unity. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no shit, right? Fucking Unity, holy hell. Don't even remind me of that. Layoffs tend to be kept extremely close to the chest to avoid sabotage, but as it unfolds, management is usually kept in the loop. So that was weird. Yeah, right? And that's the weird thing. Like, I'm curious now. I'm almost curious to go back through and look at the old reveals and look for, like, kind of like betraying wording, you know, wording that's like we assumed it meant this in this context, you know, but now going back with the chronological snobbery, as we can call it, like a hindsight being 2020, right? And going, I bet you they knew, right? You know, I'd be curious to do that. For your savings account, I appreciate that, Celestial Demon. I really do. I really do. Like it is so scary. It is so terrifying. Because like, I mean, like I have a degree in computer science. I could always fall back on that. I could make videos on other channels, but I love this job. I love this game, and I don't want Destiny to go anywhere, right? I want to keep playing Destiny. I'm like, shoot, like this character has become sort of like a weird pseudo icon in the community, and that's so cool, you know? So I really want to see this game go far, and I really want to see Bungie pull around the other side of this. But yeah, no, man, it's freaking scary, because ultimately at the end of the day, even if I'm still enjoying the hell out of this game and I can't make content for it because I'm not able to feed myself, other channels are going to be fine, right? We're in that weird place where we're we were able to support ourselves full time, but just enough. You know, it's an extension of yourself. Yes, exactly. We're able to support ourselves with this, like, just enough, right? People like Ascross Data, they're well established. They'll be fine, right? But the smaller-ish creators, I think are gonna. We're sweating a little bit. So, I mean, like, it's selfish. It's 100% selfish. I'm not gonna pretend like, you know, it's altruistic reasons for this, right? Because it's like, it's weird, but like Bungie laying off people is almost like Bungie laying off certain content creators in a weird way, like kind of in a roundabout way, you know? But anyway. Misa, why won't you dance with me? Because I am sitting and I'm talking. Astrocross is well established in the beauty community. There's no name. Sean! So true. That's cool, though. I'm working on comp sci right now, but when I saw the layoffs, my first thought was the content creators are going to get laid off. Yeah, like, it's terrifying. Like, anytime Destiny goes down, and it's always funny to me, like, let's changing topics here slightly. It is always funny to me when somebody assumes that content creators don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have, like, this specific vision, and they just want to screw the rest of the community up or whatever, right? And they only will care about themselves. That's so freaking stupid. That is so freaking stupid. If we were unhappy, but everyone else was unhappy, we could give a shit, right? Like, if there are more people playing this game, engaging with Destiny, watching videos, watching streams, and so forth, we're happy, right? So the stuff that we suggest, the stuff that we talk about, is stuff that we legitimately think would be beneficial for everybody involved, you know? It's so silly. It is so silly when I see that line of thought go through, because it's just so back-ass words. First, you have Respawn gaslighting the Titanfall community. Yeah, dude. Fuck, dude. I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about. I am probably gonna make a Meeson video talking about Respawn being dead to me, because that was some bullshit. And now Bungo going full evil greedy arc. I'm starting to think we need an old French solution. I don't know about that, but I understand the sentiment. Yeah, and like I said, like there's still so much we don't know about everything that's happening right now, right? And there still could be a silver lining. We're not seeing it. Go ahead, Crit.
I was just saying, like, in terms of, like, all these, the AAA companies going extraordinarily corporate or doing stupid decisions, that's why I'm, like, more focused on, like, the indie games that have been coming out, because, like, those things are freaking cool. I mean, hell, I introduced you to the, that metronomic game, No Straight Roads.
Yep.
And they're making another game, in, like, the coming year or two.
Yep.
And I'm excited for that one.
Yep.
I mean, hell, the music slaps. So the fact that they're making another game is like, ooh, what's next?
Yeah. And, like, I feel like games as a whole, because it's gone from, like, a weird subculture, like a weird underground culture of people that kind of, like, are generally perceived as being, like, in your basement or whatever, right? To being a widely accepted thing that a lot of people do, and there's just more talent looking to get into games. There's more people who grow up playing games, getting into games, and have legitimately new and fresh ideas, and so on and so forth, right? Like, I feel like games as a whole have gotten better in quality. And I know that we see a lot of crappy games and such as well, but, like, that's just going to happen as you get more people in the industry. But, like, looking at it from filtering out the bad, which is always going to be there, there's just more quantity, and there's still, like, what was good is still happening. There's just, like, the bad is louder, right? Like, I'm thinking of a lot of games that have just gone from being, like, okay, Call of Duty, for example. Call of Duty is, like, a AAA developer or whatever, right? The people who make Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, was possibly one of the greatest shooters of all time. And now we're seeing, like, we're able to take what we loved about the Call of Duty experience or whatever. And I know this is kind of a cherry-picked example, and we're able to now get that with even better graphics, with even more weapons, with even more features, with even more, like, there's so much more that can go into it now. The upper bound for what a game can be is way higher, right? And our standards obviously get a little bit higher too at the same time, but, like, games have gotten better. Like, even Destiny, look at Destiny 1. Destiny 1 is a great game, but Destiny 2 is a better game. And I know some people aren't going to agree with that, but Destiny 2 is a better game. There's just more here. There's just so many things that are just more stuff to play with. The game as a whole, I feel like, is a little bit more polished. It's a better game. Like, it might be better to have a smaller scope of a game, which is where Destiny really succeeded, right? But there's still like a lot that made Destiny 2 fantastic, right? They're having a Crucible match in the background. Yeah, I see that. Anyway, Todd Howard from Bethesda to Bungie for a month. He'll make it just work. Genius solution. TDT, the question everyone should be asking here soon is, what is the CEO and top management making while they let go half the company? I was laid off in 2008, and a CEO of EA made 7 to 8 figures. Yeah, that's the real thing, right? Like, somebody brought up Nintendo taking a 50% pay cut during the Wii U era, right? And, like, that's the kind of leadership we want to see from the top end of, like, game developers and stuff. It's so rare, and it's so sad that that's rare. But time will tell. Time will tell. I think we're still not done seeing all of the fallout of everything, right? We're still not done seeing.
Of course not. We're just started.
Yeah, like everything. The initial volley of musket fire has just begun. You know. Look at the fall of 2010's YouTube. Most of the people that I grew up with at Stop. Wait, what? This is Mark speaks. So I'm having to translate here. I apologize. Most of the people that I grew up with at Stop failed to keep their audience. Failed at the idea that they made. Yeah, most of the time the people who like the growing up YouTube channels, that was on them. Some people weren't able to adjust to the times, and that's sure. But like, Sky does Minecraft. For the people who know, you know, like there's a reason way outside of what happened with YouTube. You know, gaming has gone from industry fueled by passionate developers and communities into just corporate greed. That's not true. That is very much not true. Like, there is more corporate greed fuel in there, absolutely, but that's mostly that happens. That sort of happens in the highest of level of things. That is not what happens on the moment to moment thing. Like, look at Crit. Look at Crit. Do you think corporate greed sat down and said, you know what would look cool as armor? Like, I want to make this armor for pure corporate greed. Sure, that can happen, and sure, you can get people who are like, this is going to sell well, but, like, people need to be able to support themselves at the end of the day, right? Like, I want to make the best quality content I can for you guys, both to be able to support myself and because I'm passionate about content creation, right? The corporate greed is at the highest levels and stuff, and what we're seeing right now is, like, the outflow of that. We're seeing sort of, like, the results of that, but there are still so many passionate and devoted people that make up 90 or more % of the company. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, it's sad what's happening with Destiny 2, even though I don't enjoy playing it anymore, even with friends. It's just sad that this might be the road to the end, something that made so many good memories. Yeah, true. The corporate greed muddies the gaming experience for all that are passionate about the games. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. I would say that it's more like a filter, right? Because like we mentioned Nintendo earlier. Nintendo has done some things that are just, why would you do that, right? Like that's such a non-issue, and it's just bad PR and whatever, right? But still, like, we get fantastic games that have some really clear and creative visions from people who are clearly in love with their ideas of the game. Like, shoot. We just finished Super Mario Wonder yesterday, me and my brother. It was fantastic, and I haven't seen, like, Nintendo could have very easily just pushed out yet another basic 2D platformer, right? And it would have been just fine. They probably would have earned plenty of money off of it, right? But like, they clearly went through and really had somebody a group of people who really cared about it, and regardless of all of Nintendo's shortcomings and such. It was a great game. Just as a separate point, if you guys like 2D platformers at all, go pick up Super Mario Wonder. You'll really enjoy it, I promise you. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I can try it. I can try the best I can, and the best I can is good enough. Yeah, for sure. It's very funny that the folks are saying they better have a good response in the TWID. Like, bro, what could you possibly say to salvage this, Lamau? Yeah, that's a good point. I actually even thought about the TWID, the TWAB, whatever. I haven't even thought about that, because that is definitely something they're going to have to make. They're going to say something about it, right? There's no way they don't say something about it. It's just Cosmo. Shit, dude, I didn't even... I didn't even think about that. It is just Cosmo. Damn. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Ripperoonie.
Hippie ain't writing it this time, yep. It's just Cosmo now, and yes, I'm still green. Don't remind me, yeah. That's a very good point. We dropped Michael South. Yeah, you must have just been here. Well, we chatted about that for a while ago. Here's my big question. What are they going to do with what is essentially a full season and a half of the time that they've now added? Yeah. Like, what... I'm hoping... Okay, coming back to the whole, like, let's try to be positive about this whole thing. I'm hoping that with the delay, the final shape is going to be an absolute banger. Like, it's going to be so worth that wait. Right? But again, I keep coming back to this. The trajectory that we have been on for well over a year, I don't feel like that's what's going to happen here. You know? Like, I want to think that that's the case, but the realistic side of me says that what's more likely to happen is that we're gonna see a good bump with the final shape. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna drop right back off. You know, final shape has to go off. It has to surpass Forsaken, Taken, and Witch Queen combined. I don't know about that. It just needs to be like, I would say probably like Witch Queen level of good. Because like as much as we are negative, we're talking negatively about Destiny right now. Everyone here wants Destiny to succeed. Ultimately, we would much rather have Destiny be in this fantastic place where everyone is enjoying the hell out of the game and everyone's having a good time, rather than where we are questioning whether Destiny's even going to be there tomorrow, you know? So, according to Paul Tassi and the sources, the layoffs are from Bungie Manager. Yeah, we talked about that. Misam, Crit, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen, honestly? Do y'all think D2 will survive, let's say, a year after Final Shape with a healthy player base? I don't think so, no.
Yeah, no. As much as I wish that it would, in terms of, like, the storytelling aspect and what kind of things they could tell after Final Shape, because, like, they could tell a whole lot of stuff with what they've got lore-wise. I mean, hell, like, we could return to Tora Bottle and help the Cabal. We could check out the Elixni homeworld or some shit like that, you know? Those sorts of things. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Considering just, like, how things are in the corporate level of things and the choices that they're making, I feel like the Final Shape is the final part of the game.
Yeah, like, I would rather it be that Destiny, after the Final Shape, is continuing to hold strong, but I feel like what it feels like to me that Destiny is sort of at the end of its creative rope. Like, they've kind of told all the story that they want to. You know, like, just the less than desirable handling of the campaign of Lightfall, I feel like, is a relatively good indication of that. Like, we kind of just got Strand, we saw the Witness, and that was more or less it. Like, we got very little in terms of things that everyone is excited about. And then, you know, talking about it narratively, the whole thing with the Veil wasn't even talked about until after, and everyone was really confused. So, again, like I said, me, and I'm sure everybody here, would rather Destiny be in an absolutely amazing spot that delivers on every single thing that everybody's hoping for. But as time has continued to go on, I feel like that is becoming clearer and clearer that this is not the case, that we're seeing more and more of Destiny starting to take this downward spiral, you know? Let me see what Jonathan had to say here. It honestly depends on if surprise drop palindrome or black armory weapons. It is critical for the community to have the things that they want to pour hours into. In Arrivals, we had the following. Yeah, like we had... yeah, getting weapons and loot and stuff. I feel like loot is becoming less of an incentive, though. I feel like because we've sort of reached optimal loot. Like I talked about that in the weapons video, the response to Nomad. But I feel like we're at a place right now. Where loot is no longer good enough. Like that's not enough of a reward anymore. People have what they're looking for. Any new things are either just going to be too similar to what we already have. You know, like I don't know. I just don't think if loot's going to be the only thing. It's going to have to be something like narrative or gameplay related in order to actually make that happen. We have optimized the fun of the game. It's normal for any. I mean, yeah, players like there needs to be a game design Bible, and that needs to be in the 10 Commandments. That players will optimize the fun out of the game, and again, it's like it's not players' fault. It's like it's what you're asked to do. You're asked to optimize and be successful, and so on and so forth, right? And we've done that. Or we're at a place now where we've reached what is effectively optimal loot. So it's like it's not gonna do it for us anymore. They have gone through. Have they gone through the Jason Schreier article? Destiny.
Jason Schreier.
Schreier. Okay. Jason Schreier article. Destiny missed revenue targets by 45%. Damn. Interesting. I did not hear about that. I agree with. Oh, hold on. Chat's happening too quickly. I agree with the place of loot being good enough because when I look back at the new exotic, I feel nothing cool or awesome about them. Yeah, and like, as an aside, I think conditional finality is fine. Like it's exciting, it's powerful, you know. It's good. There's still a reason to chase after it. Like, should it be nerfed? Maybe, but I don't know. I think it's in a good spot. I feel like there's enough of a drawback into using it that. You know, I feel like it's in an all right position, but that's a separate topic. It's unique, yeah, exactly. And just got news that Bungie lost 8% of their workforce, around 100 or maybe more. We kind of already knew that. And it's kind of crazy to think about that 8% is 100 people. You know, like that means that the team is well over 1,000, right? Like it still sucks, right? But that's crazy to think that the team is that big. That's a huge ass team. That's a freaking massive team. Can we get a TTT raid group for going for other games? We'll love to see Meesum and all of them play WoW and rage that comes from raiding. Yeah. Probably not. Probably not.
I did suggest like doing the hardcore Remnant 2 runs.
Yeah. Like, talking about me personally here for a second. PvE or whatever, right? I don't hate PvE, but PvE typically has to be tied to something story-driven, or it has to be mechanically challenging in a way that isn't frustrating for me to really like it. Like, roguelikes in general are a good example of that. They're mechanically difficult, but they aren't designed to be frustrating, and I really enjoy roguelikes, right? I dislike the sameness that Destiny gives us and a lot of other PvE experiences gives us. If I was in the position that Bungie management was in, I'd fill the 4 months with some weapons and armor from the final shape and release them content early to maintain players during the drought. Yeah, like, my hope is that they do something like that, right? My hope is that they will take something that they already have sort of working and release it as a separate package, just as a holdout. You know what I'm saying? Like how we got like 30th anniversary or something like that, right? When's the next Plants vs. Zombie stream? Yeah, no, legitimately, that's absolutely something we're gonna have to start doing. We're going to start because, like, just for my own sanity, I'm not gonna be able to keep playing Destiny. I will lose my mind. But yeah, I'd like to see something like that. Absolutely, I'd like to see something where, like, personally, I would love to see a reinvestment into the PvP scene in something like a Forge mode, or giving us our old maps back, or giving us more private match stuff, and letting players be able to create their own content in some capacity. I feel like that would really help with the longevity of the thing. But I'm extremely biased. I love PvP. Destiny fans dying inside daily right now. Yeah, no, true. By all indications, Sony is doing layoffs across all the studios. It's to afford a Take-Two acquisition, which could mean Myth and Oni could be under Bungie's umbrella. Hooray for Bungie execs. Yeah. Like, we knew... obviously we knew that there's going to be, this wasn't going to be purely a Bungie decision. We knew that Sony was somewhat involved with what was happening here. It's a matter of how much, right? I don't know. I think what everyone's looking at right now, and I think what would save a lot of people's perception of Bungie, is how the executives respond to this. If they say, could you chill with the cold heart? Give him a second to hear it. Thank you. We're interested in seeing what the Bungie execs are saying. Like, yeah, we know that we laid off a bunch of people. We're gonna take a pay cut like Nintendo did, or yeah, we know we laid off a bunch of people. But in order to kind of like make up for that, we're gonna try to make like we're gonna give you this thing for free, you know, to kind of like show that there's still some good faith. Like, they need to reinvest in the good faith side of things, I guess, is what it boils down to. And it's whether or not Bungie's actually going to do that, whether or not Bungie's actually going to reinvest in the good faith, or they're just going to keep driving for profits. Because they don't need profits right now, right? They need good faith, because I think that's why their profits are failing, is because they don't have that good faith anymore. People are raising an eyebrow anytime Bungie does something.
Yeah, realistically, I don't think they're gonna go for anything that will build good faith. I have so little doubts.
Yeah, I don't think Bungie can afford to do that. Yeah, like, and now we're in an interesting spot, right? If anybody here has played, this is gonna be a really strange analogy. If anybody here has played Hearthstone Battlegrounds, it's an auto chess, and you kind of like are building up your army as you're going along. There's a point in any auto chess Hearthstone Battlegrounds game where you get to a point where you have, if you're doing it right, you have minions that are working for you, but you know that they're not the long-term solution, because you need to invest in higher tier minions. The problem is that they start off slower, right? Because you need to rebuild them back up, because they don't have any of the buffs that you've been accruing throughout that entire game, right? That's kind of like what's happening right now. Is like Bungie's at this weird crossroads where if they go too hard into investing into like good faith, the game just might not be here tomorrow. You know? It just might not be here because they can't afford it, right? But if they don't invest in good faith at all, they don't invest in goodwill at all, then their long-term might not have the players there anymore. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. They think throwing an Eververse armor for free equals instant goodwill. Yeah.
At least make it look good.
Yeah, like the
These
freaking
days,
$10
armors don't even
shader.
look good.
Like, there's this clown ass looking $10
ridiculous.
shader. I think it's still in the store. Let me see. No, it's not. Yeah, there was this terrible shader. No, it's not here. I'll grab this though. Terrible shader that was apparently a seasonal thing that was being sold for $10, and it was awful. I hated the look of the thing. That's a funny dance. I will buy that dance.
Yeah.
Anywho. Sold it last week. Yeah, it's last week thing.
That Toy Story ass shader.
Yeah, the Toy Story ass shader. Exactly.
That's funny. Was it, yeah, no, I used to be the kind of person that would, like, save up money to do in-game purchases for stuff like that, so, like, the Eververse store, I might have done that years ago. Because I used to do that with Team Fortress 2, with crates and keys and shit. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just patient and wait, you can use Bright Dust to buy shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I've saved up like 20,000 Bright Dust just so it's like, okay, anything that's cool comes in, I can afford it.
Snag it up. Yeah. Everybody's saying it's dying, but the team has always worked their hardest on their backs against the wall, and their backs are now literally against the wall. And yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like, that's what we mentioned earlier, is that like Curse of Osiris was when right after that we got Forsaken, which was fantastic. Forsaken was absolutely a banger, right? And we're hoping that that's what's coming here, right? It's just a matter of like, how long is it gonna be, right? Like, for me, I'm scared as a content creator because it's like, I need this game to be successful so I can freaking feed myself. And you guys have been fantastic, by the way. Like, no pressure on you guys, though. You guys have been some of the best community. I am biased, but I think we've got the best Destiny community here of every other Destiny community. I think we've got really, really cool people here, right? But it doesn't make it any less scary, right? Like it is still a very scary time to be a Destiny content creator when the game is like maybe might not be there tomorrow. They might need help from Sony like they got from Activision High Moon Studios. Yeah, maybe. Problem is half of those backs are no longer there to go up against the wall. Yeah, true. Like, again, if we're trying to spin this as positively as we can, it could be a situation where these people already were kind of looking to get out, or I don't know. I'm just trying to maintain some type of positivity. But I agree. Yeah, that's kind of scary because, that Bungie team is a lot of the people that we knew aren't there anymore.
I would take into consideration some alternative games to look into, or at least things to look forward to if there's new games coming out.
Yeah, like here's
just to have something.
Yeah, like streams are cool. Streams work fine. The problem with videos, like let's say I full pivoted over to a Call of Duty. Like show of hands right now. Show of hands, legitimately, who would watch a video if it was a Call of Duty video? Legitimately, let's see some hands in the chat. Put them in the chat. Don't use the little react thing because I don't watch that. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Well, of course Mark would. Anyway, all that to say, like, double digits if we're lucky of people that would actually watch something like that, right? And that's not faulting you guys. You guys just aren't interested in con, right? But let's assume both cases. Let's assume the video doesn't do well. The video doesn't do well. It's a waste of my time. Obviously, that's the easiest and most clean example of like, okay, Call of Duty video isn't going to work. Let's assume it pops off. What does my audience see now? They get a Call of Duty video, they watch Call of Duty video, they love the Call of Duty video, and then they get recommended a Destiny video. The overlap, as we just saw, the overlap between Destiny players and Call of Duty players is not 1-to-1. It's not even close. It's not even like 50-50, right? It's not even close. So even if that video does well, I'm still screwed. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right? So unless I just fully pivot and just full send it and just completely just forego everything that's happened up to this point with Destiny content and just basically rebuild like blanking on the name. True Vanguard left Destiny and full pivoted onto Starfield stuff, right? The first few videos he put out were some of the worst videos in terms of views he's had on the platform in a very long time. And that's to be expected. That's not his fault. Right, and then he slowly had to start to rebuild and find his way through everything, right? So it's just such a hard decision to make. So it's like obviously I would much rather that Destiny instead of being good and surviving all of this. Time to do a hot dub stream. You're so right. Do mom some
We
guess?
still need to do it. I'm sorry, we still need to do a spicy clips thing, but I have to bring over those spicy sandwiches.
Yeah, I think of the series that we have, spicy clips would be the most resilient to a pivot, right? Like if we did spicy clips of just anything we found, I think people would be okay with that, right? It's just a matter of if the marketing would work, right? Because there's the actual video and then there's the marketing of the video, which is like title and thumbnail, right? So, literally spicy clips, yeah.
Yeah. Was it, a few people suggested Deep Rock Galactic, was it Deep
Yeah.
Rock? Where's Deep Rock at? But yeah, Deep Rock Galactic. Rock and Stone, brother.
Yeah, but again, that's the same thing. Like, fill in the gap with anything here, and the example I gave with the Call of Duty thing is what could happen or what will happen, right? Because it's like, even if I put out Deep Rock and I go really hard on the Deep Rock stuff, right, and it pops off, people are going to get recommended Destiny stuff, and not everybody who plays Deep Rock are the people who play Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone who plays Destiny is the people who watch Deep Rock, so it's honestly typically going to be better for me just to start a whole separate channel, which is...
Well, my thought is just like you said with the True Vanguard, that, True Vanguard, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you said that like the first few videos that he did were one of the weaker ones, but it overall over time rebuilt. It doesn't. I don't think that that would be too big of a risk. If yeah, sure, they'll start off rough, but then rebuilding.
But like the thing I'm saying here is, this is something I don't think I've actually talked about. Is if we do decide to go with that, we do decide to go full pivot and go onto a different different game, we would have to stay full pivoted. It's not. We'd basically never go back to Destiny. And it's like, is that the trigger we want to pull? Are we there yet? I don't know. I don't think so.
I suppose that's fair.
Like, I still love Destiny, and I still think there's going to be things in Destiny. Like, true variety streamers is such a rare thing. Like, you guys, it's sort of like the survivor bias. You guys see the people who make it, you know? You don't see the hundreds of times where people don't. Maybe thousands, maybe millions of times that people don't. I would watch Spicy Clips of anything. Yeah, I think Spicy Clips would make the most sense of anything. Like I said, it'd be the difficult part would be if it would work if we labeled it as a non-Destiny video.
I do think that, like, at least, again, I'm not sure. I'm not the one with the YouTube channel, so I wouldn't know. But I honestly don't think that that you should, like, stick solely to Destiny. Like, you should try and branch out and do other games. Like, yeah, again, I do understand the potential of it being rough, where, like, people looking up your videos being recommended things that aren't meant for or not their cup of tea, I guess. But, like, if you stay in this space where it's like you can only do Destiny content, we're in this situation again where what are you going to do when it's gone or when it's dead?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, right? Because it's like,
Right.
Anyway, I don't want to lock on this for too long. And yeah, somebody mentioned that we talked about this before, and it sucks that this is the conversation we have to have, and it sucks that it has to come up again because it's obviously something that comes up every now and then, right? There's something maybe doesn't quite sit right with us. We're like, damn, that really sucks. Is, you know, Destiny gonna be able to pull through with that? And generally we know, but like, damn, bro, we're the ground is fast approaching us. We've been nosediving for a little while, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull up. So it's more real now than ever. Anyway, let me see what Gorillas has to say here. It kind of feels like we're at the party and the roof is on fire, but we keep dancing. Yeah, kind of. That's kind of where we're at. I mean, that's kind of what content creators have to do, is we kind of have to address that the roof is on fire. But like, everybody, the roof is on fire. All right, continue. You know. Mason, do you like my Warlock drip? It's okay. I talk about this all the time. Spice Eclipse is timeless, especially when you bring on other creators. Yeah, I agree. Still think Riley and Tom Chris are some of the best. Yeah, they definitely have the most explosive personalities. I would agree with that. I think that they're probably the best fit for the energy of Spice Eclipse. I would agree with that. We don't need no water. I'm glad somebody got what I was picking up, what I was putting down there. Thank you, Dark. Good. D2 has a problem for sure, but who is supposed to be safe? D2 is not those who are talking to... Wait. D2, if not those talking to the people. I'm not sure I read that correctly. You see Paul Tasty posted that it was Bungie execs. Yes, we talked about that. The company I work at took a hard look at if a location at our company is losing almost 10%. If Bungie is at negative 45%, I can see why they did that. Explains Tassie's tweet. They cut across to get the money. Yeah, for sure. For sure. They absolutely did. Like, if that is true, if the 45% thing is true, that's terrifying for Bungie. That's a huge drop. Felt compelled. I'm gonna read this one. Let's see here. I felt compelled by the Holy Spirit to drop D2 with all the corporate greed and stuff that Bungie has been to as of late. Then all the budget cuts and layoffs happen. A sign, perhaps. I don't know about that. I think it's just people being people, sinners being sinners. If you want to talk about religious stuff, I mean, people suck. I don't think you need to be a Christian to know that. People suck.
Yeah. It just be how it be.
There's an audience for the game a person plays, the audience for the person that plays the game. Yeah. So like where we're at right now, and I've tried testing the waters and seeing if people are from the content creation side of things, if people are interested in TDT or if people are interested in Destiny, and it's pretty clear to me that people are interested in Destiny. Because every time we've tried sticking our toe in the water of like variety content, it has never gone well. It has never ever gone well. As compensation for the delay, all those BS, Bungie should revive Wrath and whip it into shape after the final shape. I wonder if they're going to do anything. I wonder if they're actually going to add any sort of in-between. I don't think so. But, you know. Content creation is a derivative of a source media such as video games. The juice maker will feel the drought to a similar extent as the fruit picker. Yeah, exactly. So that's actually a pretty good analogy. If we're Jamba Juice, let's just say, we're a smoothie company, and all across the United States, let's just say, fruit imports and exports and crops and growing and everything are down. Jamba Juice is gonna feel it too. We're the Jamba Juice, right? And Bungie is the vineyard, the orchards, right? Really, our sport TDT always had. Destiny YouTubers are a dime a dozen. TDT banter is one of a kind. Also, Crit is a furry confirmed. I'd love to see where the thought process came from that.
I'm gonna need that.
So even if that's the case, and I appreciate those. I appreciate you, right? Like the people who are showing up here and are supporting us basically no matter what, right? YouTube knows you as a Destiny viewer, right? So even if you watch all of our stuff, YouTube's going to recommend our stuff to more people like you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's me.
What makes you think a second channel for everything? Whoa, hold on. What if you make a second channel for everything except Destiny? That is currently the plan, and I'm thinking of actually just completely either deleting and restarting the Misim channel just to completely get a fresh new audience, or to just start a whole separate channel and tell nobody. And just let it grow naturally. So.
His 100% rage when being called a furry confirms he's a furry. I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, where the fuck did it come from?
Yeah, I'm just as confused as you are, because typically there's like, haha, you wearing a funny mask or something or whatever, right? But like, that's just like, somebody just threw that out on the table.
Yeah. No, that's wild. That's funny.
If you like creative game dev stuff, give a shot at Halo Infinite Forge. Yeah, I know. Halo Infinite looks cool. It does. I watched y'all mostly because of the concept exotics. It was really interesting. Yeah. And like sometimes we have to make calls on that, right? Like we have to make decisions to be like, hey, like we really like the a particular series, but like as we've seen, time has gone on, it's something that we can't really keep going for. Tell nobody I'm going to have to be looking out for Crit's voice then. Who's to say Crit's going to be there? Hey, what does TDT stand for, the Destiny team? It's the Dream Team. It's a Dream Team. The thing is, there's been a bazillion Dream Teams, so we just went with a more unique identifier, that being TDT. The layoffs hit huge names, yep. I sub mostly for the discussions in the lists. Yeah, like you have there'll be a number of different reasons for you to sub, right? But ultimately, you are a Destiny viewer. Like in terms of what YouTube sees you as, you are a Destiny viewer. So that's the thing that's going to be hard to overcome. Even if you like, I will love anything you put out that's like a stupid builds. Even if it's, I don't know, freaking name me an unusual game that can have builds. Crit.
I guess Remnant.
Remnant, yeah. Even if it's like stupid Remnant builds or whatever, right? Even if you watch all of that, what the algorithm's going to look for is other people who watch Destiny, because the main overlap between everybody who's going to be doing that is going to be Destiny. Everyone who's watching our channel right now is Destiny viewers, so the algorithm's going to go try to go find other Destiny viewers And Enter the Gungeon, there's a good example. Yeah, and it's going to be disappointed, let's just say, and it's going to think that the video is bad when it recommends it to other people, and it doesn't end up interesting them. So you under Sony, so can't comment pre-orders, mass canceling. I'm not sure what you're getting at there. Bungie has over 1,500 employees. They laid off 30 people. What's the problem? It was not just 30 people. The number that we just saw was at least 100. It was at least 100, Dan. Again, everything is like, there's still a lot of speculation going on right now, but the numbers that we just saw were in the hundreds. 8% was what we saw. But even then, like, even regardless of that, even if it's like they only, like, if they laid off like a really small handful of people, it wouldn't have made news. Right? It wouldn't have made news if it wasn't a big deal. Nobody would be talking about it. Like, it'd be like a fart in the wind. People are like, oh, Bungie laid off a handful of people. Oh, well, right? This happens. And then I'm willing to bet, Bungie has laid off employees many times. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody even heard about it. Right? Because it didn't come into the mainstream because it didn't matter. Right? And we're on the side here where there was a big, sudden, and concerning layoff wave. Right? It was far more than just like a few people. Everything Sony does is always back. Like, I've never seen Sony make a good decision. Again, I think you're more likely to remember the bad than the good. Also magnified by the final shape delay. Yes, exactly. Destiny Go isn't anywhere. People are still playing D1 right now. Yeah, Destiny is still going to be here. It's just a matter of, like, how healthy is it going to be, right? Because somebody who's in their 20s, who's in their prime, has been training their whole life, can run a marathon. And so can a retirement home person who has never trained a day in their life. They can also run a marathon. They might both finish the race, especially if they get a lot of time to do it. It's just a matter of how magnificent is it going to be, right? Do you think Sony has any authority to step in and stop Destiny from dismantling itself? I mean, to some degree, but like, we know that Sony kind of put some pressure on Bungie to do this at all.
Yeah, if anything, I think like the reason it is falling apart is partly due to Sony. Like, Sony would like this to continue, save them profits.
Yeah. Well, I was also saying he will stop videos every day because of it. I'd have to check that out. That's an interesting position from him. Read Paul Tassie's update. It was Bungie that fired. Yeah, it was Bungie that fired. Sony put pressure on them, but it was Bungie that pulled the trigger. Think that the Destiny community has to create a separate client like Titanfall? No, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're still way too much invested in Destiny right now, and Bungie needs Destiny to do well, so they're still going to keep investing in it. Like I said, it's just a matter of how good is it going to be. It's his latest video. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I saw like the thumbnail for it. Like, everybody is making content on this right now, obviously. Like, this is a big deal. So I haven't been able to catch everybody's take. I think you're just gonna have to start phasing in variety content like Soundsmith did. Yeah, but it's often suicide is the point I'm trying to make. It can happen, but it can very quickly go wrong too. I can't believe Bungo dismantled the God roll of Destiny 2. That could have been the God roll, yeah. I've been out of loop what's going on this time. Short version, there's a huge amount of layoffs in Bungie Studios and a massive delay of the final shape. This is coming off the backs of one of the lowest the morale and the outlook of the community has been for a while, so everyone's like, well, shit, is Destiny dying? Which it kind of is. A word from Joe would be great right now. I agree. But the thing is this isn't Joe's thing. This is outside of his jurisdiction. Like, obviously he's higher up, but it's like, it's like using an American example. It's like if the president of the United States made an executive call for, I don't know, everyone to start firing Nerf guns or whatever, right? And everyone just kind of had to comply, whatever, right? Joe is like a general or whatever, so, he's up there, but it doesn't mean he's he still answers to somebody higher. Wow, thank you for the 50. Holy cow. Like you said, Bungie needs to do some good faith investment in order to try to salvage the situation. Will they? Probably not, but I've seen stranger things happen before. Anyways, a little dono for your savings. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Antian. Really, really appreciate that. Joe is not the community guy. Yeah, exactly. Like, Joe is probably one of the, like, he's going to be directly impacted by this, absolutely. But, like, he's probably the least involved with everything that's happening, both in terms of the community press side of things as well as the decision being made. Keith Davids is voicing Zavala. Does that mean Sergeant Johnson's a Titan? Yeah, probably. With how it's looking, Final Shape needs to be the best thing since Witch Queen, or a good chunk of people are going to jump ship. It hurts how all this happened because of higher ups. Yeah. Like, and again, there's a lot of speculation going on here, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that what we're talking about here is purely from our own position, and we very might well, like, just even yesterday, I was trying to talk about how things, it's like, this is probably Sony doing this, and then, like, we got news today that this is Bungie, right? So it's like, there are so many things that are still in development here, so we have to take everything that we're saying, take everything I'm saying here with a grain of salt, and take everything that you see online with a grain of salt. Like, people can have the best of intentions and just turn out to be wrong. Yeah, and happy Halloween, everybody. It's Halloween time. 17 months, Duck. Fluffy shenanigans. Duck is indeed worried about the state of Destiny 2, and worried about the state of Bungie and by proxy Destiny 2. Yep, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. I feel like your channel fares well because of your chemistry with D2 and its community. If you switch to being a variety channel, can that chemistry of yours mix with other games in their community? I don't know. The bigger problem is, like, so there's a couple things. First of all, I know Destiny. I'm like a fucking Wikipedia for Destiny, right? Like, especially within PvP, you know? I know this game like the back of my hand. I don't know other games that well. And it would be a lot more work to get to that place of understanding for another game, right? So just starting with that is going to be difficult. And then from there, we talked about the whole algorithmic side of things. It's like, not everybody's in that same boat. Some people, by just principle, like we saw, won't watch a video on Call of Duty. They just don't give a shit. You know? I can see you getting into Warframe or Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I'm not... I don't tend to gravitate towards PvE games, just in general, though. I like... If it is going to be a PvE game, I typically go for roguelikes. Something that's hard and different every time. Right? Like, I play a shite ton of roguelike games, but not very many pure PvE games. Like, Remnant 2 is not really my thing. Right? So those types of games don't really appeal to me. So... We're also in the yearly lows according to Steam charts. Yeah, like there's just so many things compounding to being this one of the worst times to be a Destiny player right now. So Warframe PvP is a no-go. I should know because I sort of play it. Yeah, I've heard Warframe PvP is not great. Like, Bungie's continually pandering to the new politics and slowly getting rid of what originally made them a studio amazing. But that's just going to happen. Like, people move on. Right? Like, they're going to get new blood in. That's just going to happen. That is how humans operate, right? We can't pretend that we're going to be able to keep this going. And, like, that's why you see channels phase in and out. That's why it's rare to see, like, a YouTube channel survive for a longer period of time. Because people move on, right? And a company that has as many people as they have, I mean, people are going to move on, right? So it's just a matter if we get good people to take their spot or, you know, do it better. You know what I'm saying? So... that mindset I feel like is not helpful. No offense. TGT, aren't we like 3 weeks away from the new season as well? I think so. Let me pull it up. Yeah, 4 weeks, but yeah. I'd rather Bungie just uphold the servers as opposed to running it further into the ground. I mean, but like, do you though? I don't believe so. I don't think that you actually, if you really got that you'd actually like that. Because, well, at least for me, how I engage with the game hardly ever crosses paths with a lot of the new stuff. Like, it does. But, like, I enjoy it. Like, look, fuck, dude. I've been using Retold Tale, Mida, and a sword with the freaking Astrocyte verse for, like, 4 years. Right? And I'm generally pretty happy. right? But just upholding the game obviously isn't good enough for me. I'd like to see new stuff, which is why I get things like cryosthesia, which I really like. So I don't think that that's entirely the case. I don't think if you really got that you'd like that either. Slightly good news for Bungie, guys. That the guys that got the axe, they reportedly got a severance package equal to 3 months' wages and 3 more months in health insurance. Yeah, like we kind of knew about that. Obviously, it sucks that they got laid off at all, but, it's not like Bungie just, like, got the sandpaper, let's just put it that way, and, decided to go from there. Bungie wants to obviously treat their employees well, if nothing else for PR reasons, right? It's just really bad timing, if nothing else.
Especially right before the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. Destiny's sandbox is pretty reliant on changes. Yeah, just like go, if you remember closing Destiny 1, coming into Destiny 2, how unfun that meta was. It sucked. That freaking Destiny 1 closing meta was so freaking annoying. It was so freaking annoying. And yeah, we need updates to live service game. It's part of the package. Very rarely can a game exist that isn't online and has been some type of updated game and not get new updates and people be happy with it. I think Titanfall being a great example of that, because it's like
Team Fortress 2
and Team Fortress 2. Yep. And it's because it's like those are rare, right? What's the final meta? Good question. Bad timing, understatement of the century there. Yep, for sure. Being canned around the holidays is one of the worst things ever. Good on the severance package, but still kind of burns for them. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Destiny 1 gave you the option of no land beyond icebreaker or death. Yeah. Regen ammo sidearms, yep. We've been too leaning. It's 9 years of the same song and dance, and I'm so tired. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, too. I think a lot of people are just kind of burnt out on Destiny, just in general. Like, it's not just a content creator thing. It's not just a Bungie thing. It's just players in general. Like, I love the space fantasy that this. I mean, like, that's cool. Like, doing this, cool, right? Whatever. But it gets boring after a while. Final Shape being delayed is a good thing for more polish. Yes, if it wasn't coming off the back of low community sentiment and layoffs. Because, like, I typically don't, like, a lot of people freak out when they see a delay. Not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, I mean, delays are going to happen. It's better for a better quality game for most of the time. But what's happening here is clearly a negative thing that's happening, and the delay wasn't something that's being done for a positive thing. It's being done something that feels more like it's done out of desperation. See what I'm saying? What do you think about maybe doing some Titanfall content? I know the community is rather small, but the clips go hard, lol. Yeah, I mean, like, we might do some stuff for spicy clips.
Absolutely, Spice Club.
I'm only able to play Destiny for maybe an hour or so before I get very bored. Now, with less people working on everything, can I really expect Final Shape to bring me back? So, again, talking about a positive spin on this thing, it's possible that there was too many cooks in the kitchen. And now that there are less people on board, there's less management that needs to happen, there's less things that need to be coordinated. We might see just a more fully visioned product, if that makes sense. Is that likely what's happening? Probably not. But it's a possibility. I didn't want to be burnt out on this game. Another game is like it, but damn, I just don't even want to boot up the game these days. I'd rather play anything else. Play Dark Souls 2. Yeah, I've been messing around with, you can see it right there. I've been messing around with this game, just like this little indie game, a lot more than I have with Destiny. I've been working on Wit stuff and playing Titanfall. I am holding my breath and waiting for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 because the beta was so much fun. It was fantastic. And if I could get on with Electro, I'd be playing Don't Starve. Hollow Knight is always a good time. Uno with friends. Stardew Valley we used to play with Electro. I'll still boot up Enter the Gungeon every now and then, And, like, you're going to get burnt out on even the best thing, right? Like, even if you have, like, the best insert meal here in your life, having it every day for the rest of your life will get boring, right? So, I mean, that's normal to a point. Also, it seems another reason why Final Shape is getting delayed is because external feedback on the expansion was good but not great. Yeah, like, that's the hope, right? The hope is that the delay and everything that's happening here is Bungie making the call making the decision to pivot in the positive direction. Like, they know they had to make some sacrifices, crack an egg, make an omelet, that kind of thing. The hope is that it's that. But I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful. I'll just leave it at that. Indie games are amazing. Yeah, and, like, the indie games that are the good ones are amazing. Not all indie games are amazing. There are hundreds of games uploaded to Steam daily. You will play maybe one of them. You know?
There's plenty of stinkers.
There's
but
plenty of trash out there. Plenty of trash. Because I'll watch like a Sir Deep video or a Jez video or even you, TDT, and be like, wow, I really miss my build crafting games, and then play it and just get so depressed. Yeah. I enjoy making content for this game more than I tend to enjoy playing it. Some indie games are amazing. Yeah, exactly. Anyone else feel like the tweet the CEO put out felt weird? Like, you just laid off a bunch of employees in a time where player sentiment is at its all-time lowest. Maybe I'm being weird. Nope. I think everyone also agrees with that. And a lot of people are grilling the CEO for that, too. A lot of people are grilling the CEO for that. It's doubtful that the new hires from Sony will do a better job than the ones whose shoes they're filling. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Would you say player morale is better or worse than it was with Curse of Osiris? I feel like it is worse. I feel like there's more of us right now. Because Destiny 2, when it was initially released... Like, I'll put it this way. This is from my personal biased perspective. When I started Destiny 2, I was hopeful against hope that it was going to be good. Right? So I came in forgiving a lot of sins. And just willing to overlook a lot of stuff. And I couldn't. Right? I really couldn't. And I feel like the player base dropped off pretty quick, and we kind of moved on, and we went, okay, so that's not as interesting anymore. But now that we've had more time to develop Destiny 2, there's a more long-term established player base specifically devoted to Destiny 2 specifically. So I feel like the sentiment's about in the same spot, but there's more devoted to it. So it feels worse, if that makes sense. But I don't know if it's quantitatively worse, if that makes sense. Like, I think if it were like a gauge, there's the morale is in the same spot because there's more of us. It feels like it hits harder. Feel like you're ever gonna restart Fight Forever? Fight Forever was back when I still gave a shit. I kind of have given up on PvP. If I'm being completely honest, I've kind of given up on PvP. And I just feel like Bungie just doesn't give a shit about PvP, so why should I? I'm at a place now where it's just, I'll enjoy it for what it is. I still am going to do Fight Forever stuff, and you guys are always welcome to do Fight Forever stuff, but the Fight Forever was a hopeful attempt at revitalizing what I loved within the PvP space, with the hope that it would be better in the future. That hope is kind of gone. I'm on the other side of that now. I'm at a place now where it's just restarting Fight Forever isn't going to feel the same. I'd say morale is lower than Curse. Curse of Osiris was a mistake, but not like that. This is a serious internal problem at Bungie. Yeah, probably. I'm here for the end of the saga. Next year's showcase will be when I decide to stay on the train or not. Any chance on a Borderlands stream? Yeah, probably not. They made promises and something always stops it. Yeah, true. I wonder if the layoffs destroy the PvP strike team. Good question. Who knows?
Probably.
Who knows? Kind of feeling like I want to play the game a little bit, though. Just go into PvP and mess around. I feel like we've kind of chatted about this enough. I mean, shoot, we've been on for an hour and 48 minutes. A little bit longer. What are you guys feeling? Ouch. My head. Probably stuck on this train because I spent so much time here. Yeah, sunk cost fallacy is a bitch. Sunk cost fallacy is a bitch. Half the reason I stuck around this game is because I'm waiting for them to buff Darcy. Alright. So no offense, we really sound like you're done talking about this. Yeah, I feel like we've got everything done that we want to talk about here. I feel like we've kind of gone onto all the ideas that we wanted to see. I feel like we can kind of move on. Is everyone feeling the same? They've avoided designers and programmers so far. Yes, that is true. That's a good thing that I think a lot of people don't mention. To me, Bungie has always has been a lot of over promises, under deliver for the past few years. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Game is subjectively better now than it was in Curse of Osiris. Sentiment towards the game itself is also probably better. It's more apathetic. Bungie sentiment though is bedrock. That's probably the most accurate way to put it. I'd say that's probably pretty smart. No, it's now accepting to move on, see what happens. Yeah. Let's go do like a couple rounds of PvP.
We'll
move on.
All right, chat. Suggest all the games that you want Mason to play.
I'm here for it.
I know we got Deep
Stone Spooky Day. We've got Beast over on our Twitch doing a game that he really does not want to play. I will say no more. All right.
Oh yeah.
I will open chat. I will open myself up to public. If you want to join, we'll just do a little private match lobby. We'll do some Clash. Nah, we'll do Control. Why not? Control. Let's play on the new map. 10 minutes, sure.
I really like the game that he's playing.
Maybe not for the gameplay itself, but for the whole philosophical aspect of the game.
What? Who?
Soma?
Oh, that Beast is playing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's such a good game.
Seeing some people suggest some interesting games. Undertale. I feel like the story of Undertale has already been told sufficiently, though. Like, going back to Undertale isn't going to do anything except for nostalgia, you know?
Was it what you need to do is play like I don't know. You need to play like one of the either a role playing game or like a visual novel and stuff, and just have people narrate.
Yeah. I kind of want to start doing something interesting. I have a really interesting idea for Wit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it because I might do something with it. Armor Core 6 also watch variety are worth it. I appreciate that. Armor Core looks cool. I haven't touched it yet though.
Was it there's a bunch of games that my my girlfriend got, but she doesn't ever play them. And like she buys them without even like looking into what the game's about. Like she pre-ordered Liza P because it looked really cool, and it does. It looks fantastic. But I'm like, do you realize that this is a Souls-like game, right? And she's like, what? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a Souls-like. You're not gonna have fun with that. And she's like, I fucking hate Souls-like. And I'm like, oh yeah, why did you buy it?
Why didn't you research it first? Honey Pop. Hell no, we're not playing Honey Pop.
Not play Honey Pop. That would be fucking hilarious. Demonetized, but that would be great.
We need a few more people and we can launch. I don't know how many games we're going to be playing.
Play fucking Honey Pop. I'll voice the little sidekick fairy bitch.
I'll play some head empty music while we wait.
It's vibing. Katawa Shoujo. I haven't heard about that game in a long time.
TTT playing Street Fighter could be fun. I've never got into the Street Fighter-esque fighting games. Memorizing combos has always been a daunting thing for me. I'd much rather like string together combos more naturally in like a platform fighter sense, like Smash.
Anyone offered no Sky.
Go ahead and balance out teams. I think we can launch. Honestly, I'd really like to get into the Nintendo series. There's a lot of Nintendo games I really like. And I know that there's a major disconnect between the people who watch Destiny stuff and the people who watch Nintendo stuff. It looks like we're good. All right, let's launch. We got one more spot available. You can join us when we land. Go back and play retro PS1 through 3, any retro games I've played. Let's go play Cruelty Squad. No? Nobody? Alright.
Yeah, sorry, I'm unfamiliar. Metal Gear.
Dating sims never work out well, especially if they're ones that are thinly disguised psychological torture traps. I don't know what game you're referring to.
Doki Doki.
I'm being sarcastic, Crit. Fuck.
I don't know. I think you're not familiar with these kinds of games. Let me go into a huge spiel.
So I think a lot of us here are here for you and the rest of the crew. It'd be safe playing. Nah. Like, even if that is true, even if it's 10% of my audience, which is pretty good, that's a huge dip. Because, like, not everybody is in that boat, right? Like, we just saw, there wasn't this overwhelming push, or when I said, well, what if I played Call of Duty? Like, maybe half the people in this chat were like, yeah, I'd watch that, right? So, the overlap is not the same. All right, anyway. Slip on over to this. Play some frickin' Destiny. Oh, let me turn on Shax again here. Hold on. I need to turn on my HUD too. Oop. Oop. So... There we go. Alright, let's do this thing. Why am I getting noises? Did you hear that too?
No.
I had some very strange noises. Nobody. Sweet. Excellent push. Recap these. Ooh, my aim is bad right now. We'll have some Borderlands 2 or Black Ops 2. Yeah, my aim is really bad right now.
The line.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night is great. Game on PS1. Again, though, I don't know. We'd have to, we'd either full pivot to pure variety or we'd full pivot to like a specific game. Both of which are very scary. Oh my gosh.
I think variety is probably for the best. That way you're not pigeonholed into
any one particular
into
game.
a specific niche.
Yep, for sure. Sweet. Solo clear this. I'm feeling like the teams might be just a little bit imbalanced. Silk Song. Yeah, I'd love to play Silk Song. That'd be fun. Ooh, that did not connect. Thank you, Bungie. Despite it making the sword sound, it did not connect. Perfect time for another company to make a Destiny clone and actually do well. Yeah, but that's a big ask. Like, it seems easy enough to talk about, like, oh, just make a clone of Destiny, right? But actually pulling that off is very difficult. There's a reason why there hasn't been a Destiny killer.
Oh,
Nope.
that's three. That's three people. Go away.
F in the chat for Silk Song. Yeah, for real.
Noopski killed me.
Extremely difficult to replicate. Yeah, absolutely. Banner of War with Strongholds makes your swords pretty strong. Yeah, that's... And water is wet.
Ah, bitch!
Oh, there's 2 of you. Damn. Marvel's Avengers is an example of a poorly executed Destiny 2 clone. Not really like a clone, just another live service game that this did not work out. Stupid builds or no, we're not doing stupid builds. We're just kind of killing time here. Spending some time with the community. I'm gonna go a different direction.
CS. He's got the power!
Okay, thank you. My aim was terrible. I am not playing at my best right now. I'm gonna miss it. Oh, damn it. We're gonna try first to send it when it drops. I have to look into it some more. I haven't really been excited about any new releases that are on the level of Destiny. It's all been small stuff like Silksong. Small stuff, I say, but you know, like non-AAA releases. Missed my shots, bro. Arc 2 release did it. Did not hear about that. Use Lumina and your Judgment of Kel'Grath for a one-shot glaze. Yes, we've actually done that. We did that with team setup, actually. It was fun.
Holy shit. Oh, they were behind me. God damn it, dudes. Coming out of goddamn nowhere.
I wasn't here for your opinion on final shape delay. Do you mind repeating? You can watch the VOD. We talked about it for literally an hour and 48 minutes. There's quite a lot to go over. Quite a lot to go over. A lot of different disparate thoughts. Silksong's gonna be released when Titanfall 3 is released. Don't say that.
Jinx it.
Wait. It's been confirmed that the layoff thing has nothing to do with Sony. Yeah, that is true. That is one thing we did talk about. Oh, I was not looking at my super meter. Blink, damn you! Alright. GTA 6 will release in 100 years. Yeah, true. Still holding out for Half-Life. Bro, you need to stop holding out. At least Silksong has a general release. That is true. Very true.
Yeah. Yep. Ah! I'm alive.
Zone C lost. Enemy has zone
Fuck!
I just hear the sounds of a thunder crash.
Yeah, I was flying in. What the fuck even happened to me? Where? Oh, you bitch. Noopski! Oh, wait, that wasn't me? Or was it? I'm gonna blame it on you, Noopski. I don't care.
This is all your fault.
Damn it, didn't get my slide. Half-Life 3 confirmed to launch on Judgment Day. The second coming of Christ is the launch of Half-Life 3. Mark your calendars, everybody.
You're winning. Stay strong.
More people here than I would like. Dying noises. I'm alive. Yeah. GTA 6, Elder Scrolls 6, Destiny 3, all competing for Game of the Year in 2040. Guy on my left, so I don't want to compete with 4 people here, but
I'm alive. I'm good. Nope, never mind.
not good anymore.
There's a guy behind me. Don't know where he came from, but he's here. Thank you for avenging me.
Easton, can I give you a build? We're not doing builds right now, so no, probably not. What's the general release date of Silk Song? Sometime next year. Is my understanding of it. Which is a pretty long time. Pretty long. Got him with the mage. Let's go. Dude, my aim is so bad right now. Holy shit. Oh shit. Give me that. Damn it. I didn't get as high as a blink as I wanted.
Ooh, no. Oh, I got
Speaking
him.
as somebody in the industry working at one of the big three, knowing how things work, Bungie is very independent. In the SIE losing order, 45% is not good. Insomniac, Spider-Man devs are not doing layoffs. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Like that's what we were talking about. Like there's a lot more going on underneath the surface that we aren't aware of. But thank you for the insight. I appreciate that. Any sort of insight we can get from anybody who's bigger in the industry is helpful. I think what we need right now is communication more than anything else.
Yeah, we've been in the dark for quite a bit.
I have another super.
And I never
Has Destiny gotten worse since I played Witch Queen? It's not worse. It's just kind of been missed. Actually ended up being relatively balanced. Not bad. Not bad at all.
your wall around those zones.
Bed.
It's just been like this slow burn of Destiny getting more and more problematic. Bro momentum. Whoa, what is going on with my Discord? Why do I have 22 pings? What the fuck? Who's pinging me? Who's the a-hole that's pinging me? It better be my family. I didn't even realize, but apparently we had a whole bunch of people watching the stream. I just got a ping from a family member that was like, wow, you got a lot of people watching. That's cool. We're going to do one more, then we're going to go ahead and wrap up. GG's was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Just needed kind of a palate cleanser off of everything we were talking about, you know. Where do I want to go? What do I want to play? Exodus. We'll do something a little bit weirder. Let's do Exodus Blue. We'll do Exodus Blue. I just saw that they laid off Michael. Yeah, what the hell. Again, like, my hope is that that's something that he's been looking towards retirement for a while because he's been with them for as long as I've been alive. So my hope is that he was kind of looking for, you know, maybe retiring for a bit, and this is just sort of like his way out. Who knows? Probably not likely the case, but, you know. Yeah, it's tough. Even in my team, we have been told we have to pause this project until the new fiscal year because we're getting close on budget. Each company group decides how they get in the budget. Yeah, for sure. Like, and that's the thing I think a lot of people lose track of is like, it's like Bungie is a business at the end of the day. Everyone knows that, right? But they're still having to make decisions just to keep the company alive, right? Funny thing to bring this back to, remember the whole conversation about devs being quote-unquote scared about Baldur's Gate 3, right? The bigger conversation with that, which, like, a lot of devs ended up reacting poorly to it, so I think that there's credence on both sides. But the thing that the initial tweet was trying to say is that oftentimes over-delivery can legitimately be a problem because it'll literally kill a studio. They'll put out a product, they'll spend every dime and ounce of energy they have on it, and that's it. They can't get back up, as it were. You know, they crawl across the finish line and then have a heart attack, right? So they have to make judgment calls and stuff like that, which can be sometimes difficult and not in the favor of the consumer sometimes. Isn't the Michael speculation only layoff only speculation from his website? He hasn't tweeted that he was laid off or anything, right? I think that they said it was confirmed. Yeah. I think the big thing here I would like to encourage everybody in the community to consider is what rhetoric you choose to talk about it. I would say that try to look at things here in a not necessarily like overly positive, but try to take things more at face value as opposed to even unintentionally putting a veneer of negative bias on it, if that makes sense. Because even if it is in a relatively negative situation, there's still a lot of speculation that's going around, and there's still a lot of things we don't know. Did not connect as much as I wanted to. It's corporate greed. It's likely corporate greed, yes. The big thing is going to see how, like, the upper end, the big wig kind of people end up reacting to this. If they end up doing a Nintendo thing, like, we're also taking a pay cut here, right? I think our tune would change dramatically. Is ZK on the other team? I don't think so. No. Fucking melee. Classic. Damn. I have some personal good news. I have a job interview in an hour and a half. Nice. Congrats.
Good shit, good shit.
Just looking at the stream charge, Steam 2 has been in decline for years. Yeah, right? I mean, like, the fact that Destiny has lasted long as it has is legitimately very impressive. Very, very impressive. I should have shotgun instead of trying to be silly with it. Crit, I swear to fuck if you die. Damn it, Crit.
Yeah, I died. Look, man, he's squirrely.
It's right there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, shotgun ammo. Stole my shotgun ammo. Some dude tweeted that his source is internal, but no other proof than that. Yeah, like, again, that's the thing, is like there's a lot of stuff that we are kind of taking at face value that we don't know for sure. They're from generally accepted sources, sure, but there's still quite a lot of other stuff that needs to be filtered a little bit first. Oh, I missed a little bit. Damn. I couldn't see my damn reticle. What the hell? And my sources are valid. My dad is at Bungie. Or my dad is Bungie. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, your dad is me, Dave Bungie.
We should probably do a Dave Bungie on this, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that for Friday's video. I don't know.
God dang it, the whole team's after me.
Yep.
I got 4 men.
We went from being, like,
Oh, is it
relatively
cool?
close to down by 40 in the first 10 minutes of the game, or first 3 minutes of the game, I should say.
Okay, damage, hello.
Your nemesis.
Yeah.
There are so many people right now. Holy crap. Happy Halloween, Chrome. Somebody says, hey, Dad, it's been 7 years. How you been, Dave? My dad used to work at Bungie. Ouch.
I just... Oh. Oh, no.
Your enemy can't kill if they're dead.
My radar stays up all ADS to guy. Midas too strong. Too OP. Nerd.
Alright.
Oh, that's another super.
Literally just get fucking... I slide in, only to get blade barraged immediately.
Does anybody know if the people working on a marathon were laid off? Good question. I highly doubt they would lay off people from this, being that it hasn't even reached shelves yet. Damn. I should have blinked harder. I thought I had him. I was playing with my food. Yeah, these teams went from, like, relatively balanced to really not balanced. I didn't even know this map was still in the game. Yeah, they basically removed it from rotation, so it's mostly only accessible in threes and privates.
Poop.
Hey, how do you feel like this could go if the sources are credible and the info is true? With Will, wait. With Will, it be very bad luck for the CEO, and it could stir up trouble even if it could have a CEO resignation. Yeah, I'm wondering. I think the biggest question about all the layoffs and everything is whether or not the higher ups are also feeling the pinch. Like, obviously they are in some capacity, but it's a matter of if they're going to take direct action. You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna see a resignation or a cut on pay or whatever it may be. Something along those lines. That's the big question we still don't have an answer for yet.
Get those zones back.
Bruh.
Alright, let's try to rebalance these teams a little bit. Try this again.
You eat monsters for breakfast.
It's because of what happens in the industry. When those Halo layoffs happened, Bethesda folks are also let go. It's the consequence of mergers as well. Yeah. Like, movement, like I said, like the thing, we're only really seeing this right now because it was so sweeping, so massive, and so sudden. Layoffs and stuff happen all the time, right? They're just like a single digit of worth of people, maybe, you know? Tech industry as a whole is seeing huge layoffs from overreaching during COVID. Yeah, it's true. COVID stuff did not help. People say D2 is dying, but genuinely might be. But this genuinely might be a problem. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Like, that's absolutely a concern that's happening right now. Right? One more game. Last game. We'll send it off on where is it? Javelin. Last game on Jav. We need some more people here. Go ahead and join up. Economic downturn. Yep. What's going on with Bungie right now? They're a lot, bro. A lot. They won't die, but they crippled themselves. Yeah, Destiny isn't dead, but it's going that direction, at least the current trajectory of it. With the layoffs and the general low esteem of everybody in the community right now, and now all the stuff that's happened with the monetization, everything. We talked about this at the kind of the start of the video, or the VOD. Most layoffs have been art CMs, and I feel for those people, those are very volatile positions. That's true. That's also very true. We still got some slots available. We need 2 people. But the Bungie devs getting let go was only because of having mass let goes over all of the studios that they shut down. Was there a new leak? 100 employees cut, missed 45%. Yeah, it's the revenue target miss that's the scariest thing. Delays due to playtesting of Final Shape not being good enough. Yeah. Yeah, the revenue miss is the most scary thing in all this. Like, the layoffs suck, but it's a symptom of something larger, right? Like, Bungie doesn't lay off people just because they felt like it, you know? There's more things that had to happen. Right, so the Final Shape is pretty much done except place testing and bugs. I'd be willing to bet it's more like a finished stages thing. They probably have a what's called an MVP, minimum viable product, but they probably don't have a like in the place that they want it to be. You know, not just like bugs or whatever, just like actual polish and things, and maybe getting some of the other assets and stuff kind of plugged in there. It's delayed to like June. Yeah, it's not. It's been more or less confirmed at this point that it's been delayed to June, but we'll get an official statement on it, because the statements that we do have, everyone's kind of taking as like the word of God, but it's not, from my understanding. It's been like reliable sources, but not confirmed. So, I hope that the Final Shape, the delay is to make the Final Shape an absolute banger. I think the WGA strike from earlier this year had any impact on the situation. It probably did. It's just a matter of how much. You know? 7-month season. Yeah, the 7-month season is scary. That's Because that was Season of the Lost, and no one wants to go back to Season of the Lost. Like, 30th anniversary, sure, but not Season of the Lost. You know what I mean? That was also 30th anniversary. Basically, if true, we're stuck in a season of pre-final shape halfway through the next year. Sony wants a cash cow, and D2 lied about their target, so probably super pissed. Yeah, like, again, I think it's not necessarily that they lied. I think it's just more that they made a promise that they weren't able to uphold. I know that's kind of like splitting hairs there, but there's a motivational difference, right? Like where Bungie's coming from when they made stuff.
Show me you can take
They dropped the ball at the space station with Lightfall. A lot of it's Bungie's fault, not just the higher-ups. I mean, it's so hard to split the higher-ups from the rest of everything else that's happening, you know? It's like, Bungie is part of the higher-ups, you know? It's like, well, it's not the brain's fault, it's the heart's fault. It's like, yeah, can you really split those things up? Like, if one fails, the other fails, right? Ah, damn. Not quite in as much range. How does upper management miss by 45%? Well, it's likely that they've been bleeding money for a while. And it's not that they mismanaged something. It's likely that they didn't receive the return that they were hoping for. But somebody who's in the industry might be able to give me a better understanding of this. Is that my Child of the Old Gods that came right back around?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, cool. Thanks, game.
No problem.
I can expand on the miss. Street Shadow apparently has had some work in the industry, so they might be able to provide us some more insight. Damn. Oh, seen the sauce.png. They have messed with the books a little. I don't think it's a booking situation. I think there's much bigger things happening there. At least the lore is unaffected. Yeah, that's true. Silver linings, guys. Silver linings. Also, the teams are a lot closer to being balanced now. Only separated by 10. Much better.
zone advantage is yours.
Oh, he glitched. Tweaked out. Son of a bitch.
I should switch back over to a slug. I've been really enjoying slugs. Microsoft worked with Bungie before, and they maybe they knew the crap they have pulled in the past. Maybe. Aren't so bad to go to whoever did this and give them a swirly. An interesting desire, but a understandable one. Get out of here. Guy on the left.
Oh,
I'll take two.
oh God, their whole team is over here.
Where they at?
I'm giving it up. C is yours.
Zone C is lost. They have advantage. Zone A, you have
Damn it. Too many people. As a group, you project that... Okay, hold on. As a group, you project... I hate the English language sometimes. You project that something will do X% well, with caveat that it might slip. You have a confidence level that comes in. Player numbers might have dipped. Expectations pre-orders. Yeah, exactly. That's more in line with what tends to happen, from what my understanding of the industry. Oh, I love that the Strand Dive just instant wins you situations. That's so much fun. It's like Freeze Rift, but without a startup period.
Where they all at? Where they all at?
those add up to a missing the numbers you projected. You planned or hired people based on that projection. You missed it.
How?
What do? Can you sustain your team at the full cost you had? Yeah, then you lay people off.
What did they lose?
So basically, the short version is that Bungie thought that they would be doing better right now, and they missed that mark. Get out of here. Ooh, that's another super. I'm out. Unironically, the other day I played some D2 PvP and it actually managed Shadow Dive Cubes like it was 2020 all over again. Yes, Shadow Dive still works. It's just hard to make as effective.
That was a super. I did not realize.
Definitely already affecting their stocks. Oh yeah, for sure. This will affect the hell out of their stocks. For certain.
I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Yeah, it would be impressive if it didn't. So, yeah. Just go the extra mile and broaden the range to 3 standard deviations. So the bell curve is accounted for. Ew, statistics.
Math, ew, yucky.
That is how you deal with the well. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Go, my little gremlins, go. Attack things.
I decided to get back into the Division 2. Yeah, there's bullet sponge enemies are back in the new mode. 25 million damage headshots, not one shot a sniper, the lowest health enemy. I hate bullet sponge combat. Why I dislike the Destiny PvE scene. It's just patience. It's just a test of patience. Everything just deals more damage and takes more damage. I do not find that enjoyable.
Oh, you bastard. You bastard chick.
Oh, shit.
The whole team showed up.
It's not an excuse, it's reality of the tech. My local office in LA might close because we are cutting costs, so we might work out of another office. It's from random cost cutting. Bungie even moved to a new studio that year, so money made. That is money made with the miss and the protection as well. Yeah. There's going to be a massive hole in the gaming industry if Destiny goes away. There's nothing like it. Yep. Absolutely true. Damn. I missed that first shot. As a matter of the IT industry, I can only say that corporate bullshit and keeping profit margins is as annoying as capitalism can get. But capitalism also brought us Destiny, right?
Noobski, get the fuck away from me. Don't you start texting threats to me.
Not Shadow Dive. Strand Dive, you know what I meant. Vold cannot go without his Strand Dive.
No threats, promises, only hug. Yeah, nah. You got cooties, I don't want none of it.
GG. Warp speed still feels good many years later. Anyway, to summarize, Bungie, maybe not good, maybe difficult. Yeah, GG Vold. I hate your Strand Dive. Strand Dive funny. No, it's not funny. I hate it. However, you know, this game is bullshit, so embrace the bullshit. You know, get your kills however you want. I'll give you a hard time for it, but no personal flack on you. You do what you need to do. You do what you need to do.
That's actually like really good.
I might not help that across the board I'm seeing drops in people buying anything. Yeah, the economy's in a rough spot right now, just in general, right? Regardless of what happens, the fact of the matter is that the next 7 months you're going to have one season, a whole lot. Yeah, exactly. That's what it really boils down to. Regardless of what's happening in the upper management, regardless of where the money is going or whatever, the players are going to be feeling this just as well as the people getting laid off, but just in different degrees, right? The players are going to be upset because they don't have the content. Obviously, people are losing their jobs, so there's a bit of a disparity there. But everyone's feeling it, right? Everyone's feeling it. Anywho, all right, chat. I really appreciate everybody who showed up today. I think we had a really good discussion overall. I was glad that we ended up having as reasonable and a rational discussion as we did. I know it's very tempting for a lot of people to just get the torches and pitchforks out and, you know, start trying to grill Bungie or whatever, right? And, you know, that still might be something that ends up happening. We just need to hold tight and see what's happening on the other side of things. We will see what ends up happening on the content side of things because, yeah, it's a little scary. It's a little scary. No, no lies there. Anyway, Crit, do me a favor and give us the outro line.
Bless your faces and deuces.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. Stopping this.